Bring it. Ich habe aber keine Ahnung, worum's.
Did you forget what Kazuichi said earlier? He said the hall was too dark to see the office. The light from the stove that you mentioned. It contradicts his testimony. Or are you intentionally doubting his testimony? I don't doubt what Kazuichi said. What are you trying to say? The reason Kazuichi couldn't see the office was because the hallway was dark. So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi have seen it? After all, he was walking near the hallway, right?
If the killer did have a light, the reason Kazuichi wasn't able to see it was...
The reason Kazuichi couldn't see the office was because the hallway was dark, right? So if a light was shining in such a dark hallway, wouldn't Kazuichi have seen it? Allow me to cut through those words! Nagito, did you forget? Or are you just pretending you forgot? Huh? What are you talking about? There should have been a wall that blocked light. I'm talking about the fire door in the hallway. If you close it, it would form a perfect wall in the hallway. Plus, the hallway rounds a corner just beyond the fire door. So even if there was a small gap in the door, as long as they passed the corner, the light still wouldn't peek out. I see. To actually notice the fire door. Just as expected of the ultimate... Oh, you still don't remember your talent, do you? Who cares about that right now?
Ass.
Nagito, what are you plotting? For someone who insists he's not the killer, you are quite nosy.
You sound so scary. If you're that angry, why don't you take a deep breath? You sure like to piss us off. How about I shut your fucking mouth for you?
Hey! It's okay if you guys fight, but I won't allow a burly brawl that might offend people. More importantly, can you hurry up and decide who's the blackened already? Time runs out when I get bored.
Fine, I get it. You're telling me to pass the torch, right?
Pass the torch?
We're going to ask the real killer, not an imposter like me, to show themselves.
You're obviously the killer, right?
If you think I am, I really don't mind. Whatever conclusion you ultimates arrive at, I will accept it, no matter what it is.
So you're telling me to call out the real killer, even though I really don't want to condemn that person, but there's no other way, right? The person who used the hallway's fire door as a cover and used the portable stove to move in the dark, and snuck under the floorboard to stab Byakuya to death using the glowing paint as a mark. So the only killer I can think of is... you and only you. Oh? Ah, das wäre jetzt schon ein guter Punkt, um Schluss zu machen. Genau jetzt, aber ich kann jetzt nicht speichern. Oh, jetzt wollte ich gerade so einen geilen Cliffhanger machen, aber ich kann nicht speichern. Ich kann hier nicht speichern. Wie schade.
You're the only one! Teru. Could it be you? Huh? What? What are you talking about?
Teru's the killer? Is that true?
What are you talking about? There's no way! Of course, that's simply my assumption. So if you have an objection, please speak freely. Objection or not, why am I being treated like the killer? Because the portable stove used in the murder came from the kitchen. That's it? That's the only reason you're treating me like a killer? Isn't that a little drastic? You're cruel. Cruel. Too cruel. Too Teru. That attitude is so not like you for the ultimate cook to get so upset. Call me chef. If you fall to aspersions like this, who will be there to support the future of the culinary arts? The future of the culinary arts? That's right. For the future of the culinary arts, you must face this and fight it fair and square. You're right. Yeah, that's totally right.
So, what's an aspersion anyway? Is it yummy?
Did you know asbestos is yummy too? You should try some later.
Nagito, why are you interfering?
Let's assume that the killer used a light. And that they used the fire door to mask that light. And that they moved to the storage room and snuck under the floorboards. Then what? It's dark under the floorboards too. So how would they be able to stab Byakuya? You're not gonna say they shined the light on Byakuya, right? The plan would have been ruined if he noticed.
That's right. What do you think about that?
There's no way you can answer, right? You personally haven't investigated what's beneath the floorboards.
If that's the case, then Gundam should know. He actually went under the floorboards.
No. Unfortunately, there was nothing related to the incident under the floorboards. The only thing I found was a strange liquid shining in the darkness, near where Byakuya's blood was dripping.
What? A shining liquid in the dark? That sounds super important!
If there was a shining mark like that, they would have been able to move to it in the dark, right? And in doing so, it might have been possible for them to use that mark to target the victim.
The victim was targeted by a mark? What was the mark? Huh?
I can prove it with this. The mark you're talking about is the glowing paint that was applied to the knife, right?
Ah, by using the glowing paint as a target, they were able to judge where to stab even in the dark.
I see. The killer didn't target an actual person. They just struck the moment the glowing paint moved. That would be the moment someone grabbed a hold of the knife.
So, the killer used the mark that I prepared for finding the knife as a mark for stabbing. I see. That's why Byakuya got killed when he took the knife.
But if they were able to do that, wouldn't that mean the killer knew about Nagito's plan all along?
Well, Teru!
Seriously, I don't know anything. Really, I don't know anything at all.
Then can I ask everyone a question instead?
You again? Just stop already!
Now. We should give everyone a fair opportunity to speak.
If Teru is the killer, that would mean he went to the storage room during the blackout.
Monomi im Hintergrund.
And just what did Ibuki hear during the blackout?
Ah! Don't step on my feet!
What the hell? What's going on here? This is...
Ow!
Turn the damn lights on! I can't eat like this, you know!
You guys? Where are you? Wasn't the blackout just in the kitchen?
She heard Teru's voice in the dining hall?
So,
Doesn't that prove Teru was in the dining hall during the blackout?
That's right! That's exactly it!
But Teru was in the kitchen the moment the blackout occurred, right? So, why was he in the dining hall?
I thought the blackout was only in the kitchen, so I panicked and ran out of there. Of course, the hallway was dark too, but somehow I managed to move along the wall toward everyone's voices.
Well, it's not that far to move along the wall from the kitchen to the dining hall.
That sounds fishy.
If I remember correctly, you can tell when a person is lying by licking their sweat. So, if you want, you should try licking me.
No way! You look greasy. But I heard Teru's voice in the dining hall! Ibuki swears on her honor!
That's right. Teru was in the dining hall, not the storage room. Which means he's not the killer.
Jesus.
No, that's not it. Why? Why do you want to keep falsely accusing me? It's not like I want to blame you.
You should be so proud of yourself, Hajime. You're just progressing toward the hope you believe in. Now, Hajime, show me more of your hope. Will that be enough to crush Teru's hope?
Schön, wie psychisch stabil Nagito zu sein scheint, nicht wahr? Was kommt jetzt? Ahnung.
Let me ask you
Das war
again.
anhören.
Did you go to the storage room during the blackout?
There's no way I went to the storage room. I was somewhere totally different.
I definitely heard Teru's voice.
Ah.
It's handsome, unlike his face.
It's handsome, unlike
Maybe
his
it was
face.
recording or something? Nope, definitely a live voice.
Right, as long as I have her testimony. The fact that I was in the dining hall cannot be disputed.
Oh
I'll shoot
nein,
through that contradiction.
da liegst du falsch.
Just because we heard Teru's voice in the dining hall doesn't mean he was literally in the dining hall. Huh? Why? Remember the floor in the dining hall? It was full of gaps, right? So even if you shouted from under the floor, it should have sounded just like the voices in the dining hall. But...
I see. So he brazenly shouted from under the floor to make us think he was in the dining hall. Is that true, Teru?
Hold on a second.
Can you explain this, Teru?
I told you to wait a second, ain't I? What are y'all even saying anymore? I'm telling you, I was in that damn dining hall during the blackout.
Where are you from again?
I was born in West Asafu and raised in South Aoyama.
Hey, you guys! This guy's a major liar! If Teru was in the dining hall during the blackout, he should have been there after the power returned, right?
Yes.
Well, I believe so. There's no way he could have gone back and forth in that dark hallway.
Huh? Was Teru actually there during that time?
I sure was. I was there the whole damn time.
Something like this shouldn't be decided by gut instinct. People's lives are at stake.
Damn right. You guys should have been deciding this on the spot with your hazy memories.
His accent is getting even worse. He's definitely lying. However, I am not sure. I believe that he was there, and I believe that he was not there.
Oh, is there any way we can decide?
Oh, there is.
Why don't we consult his memories?
His Memories? Ah, das fand ich genial. Na, kommt schon jemand auf die Idee? Weiß es jemand?
Gosh, yeah, don't be saying things like that. Don't make no sense. Can you even prove I wasn't in the dining hall? I probably can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you again.
You again. Whether or not Teru was in the dining hall during the blackout, in order to know for sure, I just need to throw that question at him. Ist es dann jetzt schon das, was ich denke? Oh.
I can prove it with this. If you're claiming that you were in the dining hall when the power came back, then you should know how Mikan was positioned at the time, right?
He of all people.
Whoa, what?
No! Don't make me remember! It's so embarrassing!
No, this is a very important question. Well, Teru, if you were really in the dining hall at that time, you should know the answer to that.
Huh?
It was a pretty clever way of tricking. There's no way you'd forget about it so easily.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I showed you something so unsightly. How about it? You can't answer, Teru?
Huh? That's weird. Just slipped from my mind.
There's no way it would slip from your mind, especially not a pervert like you.
Even so. Nagito, say something!
I guess you might have to give up now.
Wait, give up? What do you mean, give up?
Teru. I'm disappointed too, you know. It's lonely watching someone I admire reach the limits of their hope. It kind of feels like a broken dream.
Nagito, what are you doing? Why are you messing with the killer like that? Hold on a sec. Don't go moving this along on your own like I really am the killer.
Huh? But it's already decided, right?
The murder weapon hasn't been cleared up yet, Chef?
The murder weapon, huh?
It's no use. I can't understand him anymore. It appears he's saying the murder weapon hasn't been cleared up yet.
Thanks.
You understand him? But it's such a sad defense. This is too cruel.
Oh, you calling me the killer, then where's the weapon?
Come on, Monomi! Enough with the whimpering and translate!
He said, if you're calling me the killer, then where's the weapon?
Weapon, huh? It's not the knife, right?
Judging from Byakuya's wounds, it was a thin-edged tool that's roughly 5 millimeters in diameter.
But that's true. What was the murder weapon, huh? Any
Also,
ideas?
if they stabbed from under the floorboards, the weapon would need to be at least 50 centimeters in length.
After all this, who cares about the weapon?
Not good enough! Not good enough at all!
He said, not good enough. Fine, I got it. Let's try thinking about what the weapon was.
Wanna do it? Wanna do it?
He said, try to do it.
What a confusing accent!
Anyway, we need to focus and think about this. A thin-edged tool with a diameter of about 50 millimeter and at least 50 centimeter in length. The weapon that meets those requirements might have been used at the crime scene. Huh? What's that? Ah, okay. Okay. Okay, weiß schon. Nein. Falsche Maustaste gedrückt. So. Die Maus hat krasse Sensitivität eingestellt. Muss ich mich noch dran gewöhnen. Ich hätte gerne ein N. Endlich. Wie wär's jetzt mal mit dem W? Oder nicht. Endlich. Ah, jetzt habe ich es wollte das eh gleich mit bereit haben. Also. Okay, mit der Maus geht das so viel besser. Das gibt's gar nicht. Und mit dem Controller habe ich immer so abgeloost. Das macht doch richtig Spaß mit der Maus.
That's it. The weapon must be the iron skewer.
Mal wieder speichern.
Huh? The iron skewer?
Before the party, as Byakuya was confiscating all the dangerous items, he spoke to Teru.
Oh, I checked the equipment list and there seems to be one iron skewer missing. Oh, that's right. As far as I know, that's been missing from the start.
So that missing iron skewer is the weapon?
An iron skewer would match up with the wounds perfectly.
Hey, Teru, where'd you hide the iron skewer?
Monomi!
Warum Avril Lavigne? Warum?
Avril Lavigne?
Huh? Did he really just say that?
He's just saying random shit to fuck with us. You probably dumped it somewhere on the island, didn't you?
This school trip has a no littering rule. If he had violated it, the island sirens would be ringing non-stop.
Well, that doesn't sound pleasant.
Island sirens? Just for littering?
Also, I was on guard duty, and I never once saw Terra leave the old... Which means
Oops. Reopen it.
we obviously hid it somewhere in the old room. It's probably the kitchen again, right?
Teru, just man up and be straight with us.
Finally, we're nearing the end. A cornered opponent will be surrounded by soul shields. Oh, das habe ich gehasst. And simply will not listen to what you have to say. It will probably pain you to condemn your classmate, but this is a class trial after all. You must argue against your opponent and destroy their soul shields. A high-speed dispute battle where you beat down a panicked opponent's excuses and nonsense. That's a bullet time, sorry, the panic talk action. Es ist wie Bullet Time Battle. Bullet Time Battle war ja das im ersten Teil, wo man halt, es wieder ein Musikrhythmus spielt. PTA, we'll shorten it to PTA. During PTA, you must destroy all of your opponent's soul shields so you can deliver your final strike. In order to do that, you must destroy your opponent's remarks while following the tempo of the song. Time your button presses with a tempo marker as it moves across the screen. Match the tempo marker by pressing the left mouse button and you will be able to lock onto the opponent's remark. If you keep pressing it, you will be able to lock onto multiple remarks at the same time. Afterward, if you release the left mouse button in time with the tempo marker, it will intercept the locked-on remark and destroy it. When destroying remarks, you will be able to damage the soul shields. However, you cannot destroy the remark within the time limit, you will end up getting hurt. During PTA, for this PTA, just focus on pressing the left mouse button. Wait for another time for the other features. No! Do this consecutively and you'll start a combo. Keep this going, you'll initiate a tempo up. On the flip side, if you keep missing, you'll find yourself in a tempo down situation. When a song changes, the tempo changes. This will alter the timing for each button. Please be careful. Last but not least, let me tell you about the final blow. If you destroy all of your opponent's soul shields, they will start to give their final argument, and if that happens, 4 words will be displayed on the top, bottom, left and right sides of the screen. Also oben, unten, links und rechts sind dann 4 jeweils ein Wort. Each of these 4 words corresponds to the... Okay, WSAD. If you press the buttons in the right order, you will be able to compose the words of your final strike. Kommen also 4 Wörter und man muss die in der richtigen Reihenfolge kombinieren, um seine Antwort zu sagen. Please make your argument while searching for the words that will trump your opponent's final argument. Also, if you don't deliver your final strike within the time limit, the opponent's soul shields will recover. Good luck and have fun. Er wird mich zum Affen.
What the hell you saying, you super cutter hit?
He said, oh, what the hell are you even saying, you stupid country hip? I guess we have no choice but to somehow find out for ourselves.
If the iron skewer is the weapon, then hiding it in the kitchen would be the easiest way to slip it by, but Byakuya and I checked the kitchen pretty thoroughly before the party started, which means with the weapon already hidden somewhere, we couldn't find it. Could it have been in an unexpected place? Where would that be? Where did he hide a long weapon like an iron skewer? 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 Think carefully.
I'm not hiding that thing!
He said, I'm not hiding anything.
I'm hiding that thing! I'm not hiding anything!
I must reveal to Teru the conclusive evidence that proves he's the killer. Oh god. Done.
Shut up! That's impossible! Nonsense! Unforgivable!
Läuft ja soweit gut, glaube ich.
Nonsense! Shut up! That's impossible!
Und was mich daran am meisten genervt hat, ist, dass es so lange dauert, bis die Schilder kaputt gehen.
Unforgivable! I don't know! Nonsense!
Ah.
Unforgivable! Shut up! That's impossible! Nonsense! Unforgivable!
Ah.
Where would the weapon be?
Ah, no. Falsch gedrückt.
I don't know! Nonsense! Shut up! That's impossible! Nonsense! Where would the weapon be?
On the meat bone? Meat on the bone?
Unforgivable! I don't know! Nonsense! Unforgivable! Shut up! Where would the
On
weapon
the
be?
ball.
This
Ah.
is the end.
Beyond Meatball.
Could the iron skewer have been hidden inside the piece of meat on the bone? What are you saying? There's no way I'd hide anything in a place like that.
That's clearly impossible. I mean, that's inside the food.
Impossible. That's what Byakuya and I thought. That's why we overlooked it.
It seems there are no dangerous items like that skewer and this churrasco earlier inside that pile of food. That appears to be the case. Phew, I wouldn't have known what to do if he said fish bones and meat bones were also dangerous items. Da musste ich sogar ein bisschen grinsen, als wir an der Stelle waren. Innerlich.
But in fact, the only place you could hide the weapon was inside the food that couldn't be inspected. Out of all the dishes you prepared, the only one that could hide a weapon as long as an iron skewer is
Okay, skewer.
the meat on the bone.
What now?
I'm using my right to remain silent.
There's no way that exists here. We need to confirm this now. So if we eat that tasty-looking piece of meat and find the iron skewer inside, bullseye!
All right. Monokuma or Monomi, one of you hurry and bring over that piece of meat.
1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. I'll eat the whole thing.
Wait, now hold on a second. Time out, time out.
What are you doing? Hurry up and bring it over.
About that.
Wo ist Monokuma?
Huh? Where did Monokuma go?
I'm right here. I'm already eating it.
No.
A bear that eats meat! Wait, now that I think about it, that's pretty normal.
What is this? So yummy.
Ich glaube, wenn da Blut dran ist, würde das Monokuma nicht stören.
Damn it! That's my meat!
I've never eaten anything like it in my entire life. The taste brings me back to my days in the wild.
Und ich glaube, Arcane denkt nicht so weit.
This is bad. Seriously, this is really bad.
My. There's something inside the meat. Look what came out.
Isn't that?
Is that an iron skewer? Check it out. The handle looks like it's made of bone. Pretty clever.
The sword of destruction, encased in bone and sheathed in meat. It brought catastrophe unto Byakuya.
As expected of Teru Teru. Such a fantastic weapon from the ultimate chef.
You're wrong. I'm not the killer. I'm not the kind of person who would kill someone. I got it. You all set me up. You guys set me up so you could blame this on me.
Jeez, what a disappointment. Such an unseemly defense for an ultimate like you. Can you really call that hope?
Hey, Nagito. I'm sorry, but can you just be quiet?
Sorry, can you shut the fuck up, please?
He said, you're all nothing but a bunch of poor, loudmouth, fast food eating hicks.
Yeah, thanks.
You don't need to translate anymore. Somehow I can tell what he's trying to say.
Let's just deal with Nagito later. More importantly, we should
I
first...
guess we need to settle this. Once and for all. To do that, we need to go over the entire incident
das
from
wieder.
beginning to end and make everything clear.
Go over the entire incident, and then I can prove Teru's crime. And that is what we'll do next time. Because it's almost 11 und ich muss dann auch mal langsam ins Bett, vor allem, weil ich mich immer noch so ein bisschen matschig fühle. Und dann sehen wir nächstes Mal, haben wir ja noch was gewissermaßen Cliffhangeriges, nämlich was Teru eigentlich danach noch zu sagen hat und was für eine Exekution kommen wird. Also starten wir nächsten Sonntag sozusagen direkt with a bang oder so. Und deswegen würde ich sagen, das war's für heute.